Hello, welcome to the session on soft skills, and I'm Dr. Bargavi. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Management Studies in Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. So, in earlier classes, we saw about the meaning of soft skills, how soft skills are people-oriented skills, and we saw about Unit 2 in the last session about creative thinking and the out-of-the-box thinking skills, the meaning of design thinking, the process of design thinking. We saw about all these concepts in the earlier classes. So in today's session, we'll be seeing about we'll have a glimpse about the 5-step process of design thinking, and we'll proceed on with implementing design thinking in an organization. So if you see the design thinking process, we had a discussion about this in the earlier session also. So it is going to consist of 5 steps. The first step is going to be problem statement. You're going to define your problem. So before starting to go for a solution, you have to first define exactly, accurately what your problem is. So with the issue being put in the main frame, you have to start analyzing your problem. So problem statement has to be made ready. The second step in the process is going to be exploration, where you are going to explore the different alternatives available as solutions for the problems which have been defined. So you will be gathering all the information, and you will be able to understand what these information constitute of. You will be able to carry out a root cause analysis of the problems, and you will find different ways to carry out and solve the problems. So you will develop different alternatives to be solutions for the problems which have been faced. Then the third step will be idea generation, where you are going to use, or you are going to think of different notions, different ideas for creative problem solving methods. So this will be a part of your collective intelligence process, and this will produce innovative solutions to the problems which have been faced. Then the fourth stage is going to be prototyping stage, where you are going to build models, or you are going to build prototypes, where you are going to evaluate different measures that are available, and you are going to develop one particular framework or model which you deem it to be very effective for solving this particular problem which has been faced. Then the last stage is going to be evolution stage, where you are going to come up with the solution, and you are going to make the solution happen. So you are going to evaluate it, test it, and come out with the results. That is the last stage. So these are the 5 steps in the process of design thinking. Coming to the next slide, we have how to implement design thinking in the organization. How do you practice design thinking in the organization? If you see the ways to practice design thinking, we have 4 ways to make it happen. The first way is shake well with customers. So as an organization, this organization's management has to be customer centric in nature. So don't forget the customer, for God's sake. You have to have different ways of alluring customers and maintaining them. So only when you are able to do this, you will be able to practice design thinking. So the decisions, or the various functional groups on their own tend to generate ideas, and this will serve the needs of their group more than that of the customers. So if you see, the decisions of theirs are based on good intentions. It is not for isolating the customer or for making the customer feel alone. This is important to be given a consideration. The organization as a whole tries to implement design thinking practices, then it has to give importance to customers also. So you may be shocked at how unaware some organizational groups are, with respect to their way they address customers. So if this is going to impact the customers in a very very high manner, because the customers, they are going to be the king makers. They are these responsible persons for success of your understand to shake well with your customers. As an organization's point of view, you have to give importance to customer, and you have to carry out the design thinking practices in a view to attract more and more customers and build your base. Then the second way to implement design thinking practices is by identifying and defining the problem to form solutions. So it defines the right problem to be solved. So the task of a team may always be to question things and to empathize with the experience of the persons who are there in the team. So if you see, when the team members in an organization, and they try to identify the problems, when they try to define what the problem is exactly, then they are able to form different solutions, or they are able to come up with different alternatives for solving this particular problem. So be careful that every idea is not over analyzed. So you have to extract ideas from the brains of all the team members present in the group, and you have to be careful not to over analyze ideas and thoughts at a single point of time. You should not carry all the ideas together and analyze it. So be sure that you have defined the problem, you have developed the alternatives, and you have evaluated all the alternatives to arrive at a decision. Then the third way is fine-tuning the selected direction. So once you have a couple of good options at which you feel is going to be the solution for the problem defined, then the team members of group have to embrace these solutions. So they do not allow things like what happened in the past. When I took this decision, I was not able to be successful. Don't think like that. Don't think of previous failures or previous experiences which will discourage you. So you have to create an environment that is going to allow new ideas to grow, and allow the group members in your team to come up with new notions, make them to experiment things that will enhance the creative thinking process, and that will make people to come out with new ideas. So sometimes it is necessary to combine many ideas into one and make it happen. So it may happen that many alternatives can be developed. So you have to evaluate the alternatives, fine tune it, and then go on with one particular alternative as a solution for the problem which has been defined. Then pick the winner and execute it. This is the final stage of implementing the design thinking process, where it is going to involve selection of a course of action that can be carried out in the organization, and the allocation of resources to achieve these goals. So if you want to make the design thinking work, then it has to happen as a team. So rally the team, in the process of design thinking. Ask for what people are doing, make them analyze their responsibilities, let them have a clear-cut goal, and let them have allocated responsibilities, so that they are aware of what has to be done. So this is one way of making design thinking happen. So rallying the team can be one of the ways to make design thinking work. Then the second way is to invite everyone. So invite everyone in the team to take part. So that will be the best method to inculcate design thinking process. So everyone should be invited, and they should have a chance to share their thoughts. They should have a chance to express themselves, to stand out for their voice. So this can lead to a longer meeting, of course, but the focus will improve if people are given a chance to be invited, and when people are able to share what they think about one particular problem. So this will give you a sense of how the group can be divided into different teams or different smaller units, and in the beginning observe how things happen naturally within the team members, and from there we can fine tune everyone's point of view, and we can come to a conclusion. So invite people to be a part of the design thinking process. Then the third is reduce the distractions, which means there should not be any multitasking happening around. So turn off your laptops, turn off your cell phones, turn off your computers for a while when you are in the process of design thinking. So this will ban multitasking, and it can be easy for the people in a team to brainstorm and come out with effective notions or ideas when these distractions are avoided. Then the next step is to recognize people when they say something, when they suggest something constructively. Then recognize them, pat them on their back, or applaud them, or motivate them. So that when you recognize people, they'll be able to perform even more better. So by observing the team behavior, and by finding a way to create the dynamics inside the team, that is your job. So speak out of your consciousness that what is required from the team, and speak out that what they are responsible of doing and carrying out. Require that every person in the room has to work together, and make sure that you recognize the efforts implied by the team members. Then if you see, the next point is accept the differences. Be open-minded. Have a level of openness inside you. So, don't let them turn into excuses. Not everyone is going to be super creative in nature. So, you need to take the qualities of different people, and you have to accept people for who they are, and you have to realize that there is something unique in each one of us. So that realization is going to make things happen. Living together is all about what you and I are going to accomplish at the end of the day. So be encouraging to accept the differences in each one of us. Then the next step is to break the ice. How do one break the ice? How is it broken? In a good way, break the ice. By nature, creative type people, they are the breakers of the rules. If you see, encourage this attitude. Allow them to freely explore what is required, and why they have to focus on the problems, yes, but allow them to go out of the box while thinking, so that they are able to come up with random solutions or come up with innovative ideas to solve the problems. So vocalize this rule. If you feel that people are comfortable talking and saying anything, that whatever is coming there into their mind, then you have given them the liberty to think out of the box. So break the ice, break the traditional way of thought process, make something new. The next point is watch for precision. What do you mean by precision? Precision is going to be about accuracy. So what do you mean by precision? Precision is where you make team members perform their task and come up with a solution in an effective manner accurately. So you may not be able to create a program for space, or you may not be able to create a program for a new device that has been found. So if you see a trend in ideas so far in any emerging industries or area of specializations, it is okay to throw out the traditional ways, and it is okay to come up with new ways which can also be accurate in future. So be careful of how can you make people to be productive, and how you can make people to be accurate in performing their tasks. So you can start with having or giving a chance to these team members to speak out their ideas, clarify what their confusions are, and then giving them a chance for performing the task accurately. Then the next way to make design thinking work is a friction-free teamwork. So, most companies hire project managers to render the moving parts in a simple manner. So, collaborations are required. We want to work in a team. We want to work in a very, innovative team, or a team that has a very high level of creativity. So design thinking is a process which is going to involve creativity, which is going to involve out of the box thinking skills. So when this company Adobe, it had an idea to give innovation a prime focus. So 84% of the technology-led organizations, they are investing on tools and services that is going to promote design thinking. So if you see, building of knowledge, building a team which is going to be knowledgeable, creative, they see this particular aspect as their future. So teamwork, friction-free teamwork is essential for the success of the organization. So your human resources, the people present inside your organization, when they are able to work in harmony without any conflicts, then that is going to give way for design thinking. Then the next point is give floor to others. This means that you have to give opportunity for others to speak out what they feel. So be careful not to take over the conversation when you are leading the session. So you have to be a facilitator. You have to be a person who is going to give room for new thoughts. So you have to give opportunity for others to speak their opinions also. So pass the floor to those who have been working to solve the problem. So engage them for their participation, praise them if possible. So let them come forward with their thoughts and theories, and make it happen. So remember that everyone is creative. Each one of us have some level of creativity inside us. So give room to everyone for speaking what they feel and to express their level of creativity. Then the next point is deliver more than perfection. What do you mean by delivering more than perfection? See, be better, which means that what you are expected to do is being more achievable than what is expected. So this is not something that you can always do, but you can obviously try to make yourself exceed the expectations of your superiors, and you can deliver beyond perfection. That is possible, and it is possible only because of design thinking. Then the next point is celebrate. How many of us have celebrated the victories of our team members? How many of us have? Or how many of us have celebrated the little joys or little delights which we get inside our team? How many of us have done that? Just think. So start celebrating in any opportunity which you get your way. So if you've learned something new, celebrate. If you have gone beyond boundaries in achieving something, celebrate. If it is a new task that you have performed successfully, celebrate. So find reasons to be joyful in nature. Find reasons to celebrate your surroundings. Make it as an occasion. Make it happen. So these are the things that are going to inspire people. So when you collaborate with people, when you celebrate often, they are also put in a joyful mood and they are able to produce even more better. So highlight that, highlight the achievements of people, celebrate it, and make your surrounding joyful. That is one of the ways to enhance the creative thinking process inside each one of us. Then make it as a game. What do you make it as a game? What do you infer by making it as a game? How many of you have been working in this IT sectors? You might have seen this scoreboards, score charts, which is projected in each of the floor which the employees work on. If you see the score charts, they may have star performers of the month, good performers of the month, star boards. So you will have this golden star fixed in these score charts for employees who have performed the best. So not only in IT sector, this happens in many sectors like the retail sector, the manufacturing industry, many industries this happens. So make it as a game. These scoreboards, what is the purpose for scoreboards to be fixed in the middle of the floor and making it visible to employees? It is because, see, when the employees go somewhere, and when they come out, when they commute to one place, from their cabin to other cabin, when they pass and come, when they look at the scoreboard, they'll feel motivated to perform even more better. What will happen if my name comes in that place and there's a star being fixed below my name? How wonderful it may be. People will start imagining and they'll start working better. So to increase the productivity, games are required. Games are required to inculcate the process of design thinking. So set a scoreboard, or indulge in games inside the workplace, so that the employees will be able to enhance their process of design thinking and perform better. The last point, how to make design thinking work, is focus on your customer first. So as any organization, your prime focus should be on the customer. So this has become a common rule for all the organizations, irrespective of whichever area your operations are. The companies should focus more on their products and services that they deliver to the customers. So when you are able to give customers the prime focus, you'll be able to understand their needs and preferences, and you will be able to train your employees to indulge in similar or respective design thinking processes. So if the customer says that I need a toothbrush which is going to be flexible, which can clean all the parts of my jaw, either this way or that way, then the company should be able to get the feedback of the customer, put it into the R&D team, and they should be able to go for design thinking process and design a product, a toothbrush which is flexible in cleaning the entire jaw. So focus on your customer. Your customer is going to be your future. If you are not going to give him a prime importance, you are losing your business day by day. So design thinking has to be done keeping in mind the taste and preferences of customers for the organization. So these are the ways in which design thinking can be made to work in an organization. So with this, we move on to the next slide, which is about design thinking in various sectors. So we all know what is design thinking. Design thinking is going to lead to innovative solutions being developed by organizations. So it is going to make a business grow and face success. So design thinking is going to help with the conceptualizing and creating products which are unique in nature. So nowadays, if you see organizations, they are consciously recruiting for people who are specialists in design thinking. So when it comes to creating a new experience for the customer, the companies are giving that a prime importance. So the unprecedented success of design thinking is going to lie within the process driven by empathy or ideation, prototyping, testing to deliver services and products that are going to satisfy customers at the end of the day. So design thinking, if you see, they have been implemented in different sectors in today's scenario. So if you see the different sectors here: healthcare and medicine, space exploration, education, retailing, food and beverage industry, entertainment, banking, travel and hospitality, technology industry, automobile industry, all these have been influenced by design thinking. So if you take healthcare and medicine, then design thinking is piercing the various aspects of our lives by coming up with emerging trends in the field of healthcare and medicine, which has been offered to the common public. So many medical professionals across the world, they are implementing new ways to make the experiences of people in the hospital better. So believe it or not, there are hospitals that no longer took look at the patient as if they were an ATM machine, and they can financially draw them off with the money which they have in their bank accounts. Today, in today's fast-moving world, if you see online consultations, medical consultations, or online screening, diagnosis of diseases have come up. So design thinking has been one of the cause for new methodologies to be happening inside the healthcare and medicine sector. So if you see, according to the Board of Innovation in 2020, this board dedicated, which is dedicated to health technology, they actually had staunchly believed in the design thinking process, and there are few startups that are using people's health related information in order to predict illness beforehand. So for instance, if you see this startup citizen, that is one trend which worked towards giving cancer patients access to their own health records beforehand, anytime, anywhere the records were made available. And this was done by the Medopad company in the West. So this was feasible for the patients to access their records and record their activities. And the healthcare corporations, they also came up with a variety of trends in the healthcare industry. So if you see, design thinking is one of the mandatory requirements in any industry for them to come up with new innovations in their respective fields. Then coming to space exploration, what happens here? If you see, space exploration will require the technological advancements. It is going to bring people beyond expectations. So individuals, when they are in this space exploration sector, they are ready for the design thinking process. And in the recent years, space exploration has driven not only the scientific geniuses but also the artistic people and the designing people. They collaborate with the astrophysicists and they create visuals that explain the concepts of certain mission on the space. So some NASA scientists, they also have established making a storytelling initiative that is going to empower their colleagues in NASA, and this will make them to understand and articulate a bigger picture of whatever their concepts are. So space exploration is one field where design thinking is implemented exclusively. Then if you see, education sector, what is the impact of design thinking in the education sector? Design thinking has the ability to connect educators for their creativity and aspirations so that they can help the students to develop their own skills in the future. So a lot of practitioners are now flexibly customizing the design thinking process so that they could fit into specific environments which are expected by the students. So there are 4 essential modes that the teachers focus while implementing their experiments. These 4 essential nodes are leading with empathy, or challenging the assumptions which are in tradition, or making the experiments happen, or sharing the creative progress with others. So empathy is the root of the mankind. We all are empathetic in nature. So if you see, learning should not be a very tradition oriented process. It should be a modern one also. As technological advancements keep taking place, then the mode of learning has also gone accordingly high. So if you see, in today's pandemic season, if you see, there are different modes of learning things. Especially the school going children, the college going children, they are adapted to online classes. They have got adapted, they have become flexible to online classes, they have learned how to operate online. So education is also one of the sectors where design thinking is necessary. Then retailing, the world of retailing. If you see, the Swedish furniture giant like IKEA, or any good retail brand, retail company, their heart will be the design thinking process. So all of the products that are designed in the retail industry, they have design thinking in the back end. So design thinking is assuming a very prominent role in the retail industry, especially when it comes to fashion, or when it comes to jewelry, or when it comes to the modern trends that happen in the retail industry. Design thinking plays a very vital role. The company, whichever is operating in the retail industry, they keep understanding the consumer preferences from time to time, and they start thinking in a creative manner to fulfill the demands of their customers. So design thinking is a prerequisite in the retail industry. Coming to the food and beverage industry, earlier if you see, 50 years back, we didn't have knowledge of pizzas, we didn't have the knowledge of pastas, we didn't have the knowledge of Chinese food items. So now if you take, because of technology, because of out of the box thinking skills of the food technicians, today we are able to make any cuisine cook in our own kitchens. So how is that possible? Because of design thinking methodologies, because someone somewhere in the globe thought that sharing food recipes online could make people prepare their own food in their own way. Then this made food and beverage industry develop over a period of time. The next, if you see the entertainment industry today, how many of us are watching Netflix and Amazon Prime? We have reached new heights when it comes to online video streaming. So the audiences are watching their favorite shows when it is most convenient for them, and whenever they feel that they can sit in one location, be it at home or be it outside, they start streaming videos and start watching it. So today's technology, the process of design thinking in the back end has enabled us to watch videos or stream movies from any point of time, sitting at any corner of the house or at work. So several years ago, if you see, there weren't the same kind of things that were happening in the entertainment industry. So consumers couldn't access their favorite shows when they had free time to sit and watch. This concept of introducing the idea of satellite and cable independent subscription based system was done by HBO. If you know this channel, Home Box Office Movies, HBO, they came up with this idea and they turned into design thinking to reshape the user experiences. So they made tailor programs, they customized programs based on the users' needs and behaviors, and that was how the company was able to revolutionize the audience experience and come up with more customer inspired solutions. So this is one of the examples that can be given in the entertainment industry. Then coming to banking industry, earlier if you see 2 decades or 3 decades back, we didn't have net banking facilities, we didn't have mobile banking options, we didn't have this digital swiping cards and machines. So if you see, that was the situation 3 decades back, and today if you see, everything that we do is digital, isn't it? We pay for transactions online, we purchase everything online. It is all made possible because of digital money, and we can also invest in shares or mutual funds or bitcoins, whatever be it. Everything can be done online today. So the banking industry, the financial sector has transformed to a very huge extent because of the process of design thinking by few people in the back end. So this is one example which can be quoted as the innovative design thinking impact in banking sector. Coming to travel and hospitality, we have a lot of sites like Make My Trip or Yatra.com, or we have different travel websites exclusively made for the purpose of giving comfort to customers and convenience to customers. How many of you have heard about Airbnb? This is one company in the travel industry, which has increased its operations, and it became successful because of this impact of design thinking in their backend. So they were able to improve the customer experiences because of design thinking processes being adopted inside the company. So although they started looking for several business strategies in the middle, it turned out that the low quality pictures which they had attached in their websites was one of the drawbacks for people not preferring to go for Airbnb when they were traveling extensively. So, when the company started realizing this, they started adapting design thinking practices in their backend, and they were able to transform their business to a huge extent by adapting this kind of thinking process. Then coming to the technology industry, we have a lot of technological advancements that keep happening from time to time globally. So when you think about this Chinese brand of mobile phone, Vivo, many of us have heard about it. The design thinking process has helped Vivo to understand and connect with its customers in a very highly competitive market. We have smartphones, right, from 5,000, 6,000 rupees to, it goes, the end is infinite. You have smartphones even for 2 lakh rupees. So when it comes to smartphone market, the company Vivo, it realized how crucial the method was to retain customers, and they started crafting their products to target young customers in China. So they built a concept store as a way to promote their brand values. And this research made by the Vivo company revealed that young customers, they look for opportunities that will expose them to new experiences, and this will enrich them personally. So Vivo created multimedia units that customers can interact with and improve their overall experience. So design driven companies have maintained a very significant stock market advantage by adapting the process of design thinking in their backend. So this is one impact of design thinking in the technology industry. Coming to the automobile industry, in the very last phase, we have quite a good number of companies who have adopted to design thinking methods in their operations. If you see, be it Elon Musk, or be it Tesla Motors, or be it even the Tata Motors, when Tata came up with this concept of 1 lakh rupee car, which is a nano, it was a huge success in the early stages. If you see, many people preferred going for this Tata Nano because they didn't have four-wheelers in their house, and this small car was just similar to auto to commute from one place to another easily and make transportation very feasible. So that was one peculiar thing that happened in the automobile industry because of design thinking. Somewhere someone would have given this idea of a 1 lakh rupee car which can be purchased by consumers and made use for their daily operations. So that was one impact of design thinking in the automobile industry. So this process of design thinking has the ability to transform businesses and improve sales. So organizations have to give prime importance to design thinking so that they'll be able to achieve new outcomes and reach new heights. This is the impact of design thinking in various sectors. So with this, we come to the end of today's session, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for patiently listening to all the slides and the contents. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay connected. We'll meet in a session soon. Thank you.